We all have a story. We all experience life. It's a journey. Sometimes we must share our stories. So let's have a conversation. We need some grown folk talk.
Hello and welcome to Grown Folk Talk. Thank you so much for joining me. We are about to have some Grown Folk Talk. I am your host, Patrice Frith Hayward. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, the grown folks are talking about the beauty of marriage because some of us know marriage can get pretty ugly. And you know, those of us who have had weddings, we know that the day is usually beautiful. But what if the marriage itself could be beautiful as well? So I have the pleasure of having in studio with me as my guest a couple who knows a thing or two about marriage, Carola and Stephen Lowe. Thank you for joining me, Lowe's.
Patrice, we are so excited.
This is exciting.
Oh,
it's my pleasure. So we've talked before. Yes. We've talked a few times about marriage, and I knew I wanted to have you share with my audience your views on this. The topic is the beauty of marriage, not just marriage.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Because we could talk about marriage forever, but the beauty of it. And we were talking to Carola, and well, Stephen was involved eventually, but we started the whole, why does marriage need to be beautiful? So tell us a little bit about yourselves first, so we can know how come you can tell us about the beauty of marriage. What qualifies you?
Ladies first.
Okay. All right.
Stephen and I have been married for 27 years, as you well know. The first 5-6 years were absolutely wonderful. No arguing, no fussing.
Ooh, my.
And we have a blended family, by the way.
Yes.
But by the time the end of year 6 hit, we were in major trouble.
Really? No champagne and roses and stuff like that by year 6, you're going into 7.
6, 7.
The beauty was fading.
It had faded.
Oh, it had faded. Okay, it had already
Definitely.
faded. Okay.
It had faded.
It was really all Carol's fault. I'm going to be honest with you.
All right, so let's get right to the juice.
Let's get
Go
right
ahead.
to it.
Let's get
We're
to
not
it.
holding anything back
we
today.
are
It
not,
was all
because we're
her
grown folk.
fault.
We are grown folk.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? So you guys were actually headed to divorce court,
Yeah,
literally.
we were. And
You had decided to get a divorce.
Absolutely. I was actually on my way. I mean,
He had decided to get a divorce.
I mean, I was joking about it's all her fault because that's how we think.
Yes.
It was both of us, actually. I built up in my mind a whole host of, it was almost like a different reality for myself based upon what I saw, but also based on the baggage. And
your
insecurity
baggage.
and the insecurity that I carry within myself.
Okay.
And you know what? Never talked to her about it.
Never told her what you were insecure about. But
Exactly.
you were insecure.
So she would wake up, look at me, and say hello, and I'm like, okay, what does she want? What is
Really?
she up to? Yeah, I got that straight.
Because you were not feeling good about yourself. So you couldn't understand why she would even want you.
Exactly.
Because you had low self-esteem, unhealthy self-esteem,
all
or
of
whatever
that.
it is.
All of that. And in
Internal baggage.
In my mind, I wasn't good enough for her. In my mind, she was looking for a way to get rid of me.
But yet she had married you.
Exactly. That makes no...
She wanted you for whatever you could offer.
Exactly.
In your mind.
Exactly. And everybody else in our circle of friends and family were more important to her than me in my mind.
That was your thought.
Yeah. And I never talked to her about it.
So he just started acting wretched, not saying good morning, not all of that.
Ratchet might be too strong.
Wretched is not too strong. I think by the sounds of things, it was wretched.
He totally withdrew.
Oh, he withdrew.
Totally.
As men tend to do.
Right, yes.
In my
Instead of
mind-
sharing your feelings.
In my mind, my
Exactly.
needs weren't being met.
And I had no
She
idea
didn't know
what
what
his
your needs-
needs were.
There
So,
you go.
we were doing this, not even this dance. He had retreated to his corner of the ring.
Yes.
And I was sort of like left in the middle just trying to figure out, what was going on here. This was not normal.
With no explanation,
With no
conversation.
Kids were in the house, and of course, when we were in front of the kids, we'd be courteous and all the rest.
Right.
Of it. They
Exactly.
didn't have a clue.
Exactly. And
what
they
was
didn't
going
have a
on.
clue until years later.
But did they really not have a clue?
They really
They didn't.
have a
So
clue.
you
They
guys
didn't.
were pulling it off really well because kids
You
can
really
pick
were.
up on things.
But don't
Yeah.
we do that?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We're good at
Suffering
that.
silently.
Suffer,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
instead of the conversation, because years later now, you obviously on 27 years now.
Yes.
This happened in year 7, so you're 20 years. Somebody had the common sense to say, "All right, that's enough of that. What are we doing?"
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so all of that, no communication, lack of communication. You're wondering what's going. Did you ever say, Stephen, what's going on? What have I done? What have you done? Whatever. Nothing.
Nothing.
So nobody was
I actually
communicating.
remember her doing that one. I'll
Did
never
I?
forget this. I was sitting in the
She
chair.
doesn't
I'll never
remember.
forget this. Sitting in the chair in the living dining room. She came over and basically said, "What's wrong with you?"
Okay.
The way she said it, though, just made things totally worse and confirmed in my mind how I thought she felt about me.
Wow.
So that didn't
So-
open any doors. It didn't help at
Right.
all.
It
and
actually
just
made
got
it worse.
and worse and worse.
Total lack of communication.
Exactly. And from my standpoint, I was irritated by now.
Yes,
because
of course.
This had gone on for a while.
Right.
There was
Living in the same house.
Exactly. There was
Okay.
no communication.
Okay. Okay.
And I was irritated.
Yeah, of course you were. And he was too with
Yeah,
you.
sure,
And not
sure.
knowing why. And you thought that you say the kids said they didn't know what was going
No, they
on.
didn't.
So you were
Years and
living
years later, they said
in
they didn't
total toxicity
Yes.
quietly.
Sleeping in
Well,
the same bed.
Sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah.
Eating at the same table.
Oh my, and praying saying grace.
Yeah.
My Lord.
All of that.
All
Okay.
of that.
But you
All
shut
right.
down and you just don't say anything.
Right.
What the hell
That's it. Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
We're going to talk about how you got to where you are now,
Sure.
sitting here on the show talking about the beauty of
beauty of
marriage.
marriage.
We've only just started.
Exactly.
Yes.
We have so
Yes.
much to
Just
talk
begun.
about.
So
We've
much.
only just begun, and you're here to help some people. I'm
Absolutely.
sure. Okay, so we're going to a break now, but please don't go anywhere. Trust me, you want to hear this. I've only gotten a little bit about it, but we're taking a break. And when we come back, the Lows are going to share with us three simple truths that they have faced to get them to be now 27 years of marriage. We'll be right back.
Grown Folk Talk will be back after these messages.